very good.
Shabbat Shalom. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Temple Ahavat Shalom. Special welcome to those who are watching the live stream from home. Great to have you here as well. I'm Rabbi Matt Berger, and I'm joined on the bima, our soloist, Michelle McNicholas, down at the piano with a lovely black cap and hat is our accompanist, Joy Katzen-Guthrie. Tonight we continue to stand with the state of Israel, our Jewish homeland, in both prayer and song, and we also commemorate Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass, as well as honor our military veterans who have served our country with great pride in years past. We will begin and open in our prayer books. You'll find all the prayers on the screen as well. But the words of Psalm 133, How Good It Is to Be Together, Hine Matov, found on page 10 in Mishkan Tefillah, in our prayer book, Dwelling Place of Prayer. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad.
How good.
How good
it is
to be together.
How good
it is
to
be together. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im, shevet achim gam yachad.
How good
it is
to
be together.
How good
it is
to
be together. Whoa, 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 whoa. This time we'll continue with the singing of Light These Lights, and I'll invite any women who are interested in coming up to the bima to help us light our 2 Shabbat candles. You'll find the blessing to the prayer on page 2.
Oh, hear my prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you,
And let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you. And let us say Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu Lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Not in the prayer book, but on the screen, I'll invite you to join me in a prayer for Israel. O Heavenly One, protector and redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. May you bless the soldiers of the Israel Defense Forces and all those who stand guard to protect our people. Shield them from all troubles and injury. Help them secure freedom without loss of life for all those held captive by the enemy. May they have strength and courage of heart. So the last few weeks we've been singing Am Yisrael Chai, which is always a beautiful sentiment, and there are at least 2 or 3 wonderful arrangements of that, but we're going to be bringing in today a text written by Ark Einstein, who many people view him as the voice of Israel. The arrangement is with his longtime musical partner, Mickey Gavrilov, and the song, which you'll find right on the screen on 2 different slides, is Ani ve'ata. You and I will change the world, then all will join us. Though it's been said before, it doesn't matter. You and I will change the world. You and I will start from the beginning. It may be difficult, but it's nothing. It's not so terrible. Ani ve'ata nishanet ha'olam. Ani ve'ata az yavo kuvar kulam. Amru et ze kodem lefanai ze lo mishaneh. Ani ve'ata nishanet ha'olam. Ani ve'ata ninaseh mehatchala. Yeh lanu ra, ein davar ze lo nora. Amru et ze kodem lefanai ze lo mishaneh. Ani ve'ata nishanet ha'olam. Every year there's a confluence of two very important commemorations in the Jewish and secular calendar. On this Shabbat, we observe Veterans Day by paying tribute to the service and dedication of those who served in the U.S. Armed Forces. The Jewish community has a very proud military history in America dating back all the way to the Revolutionary War, and it continues to this day as close to 10,000 Jewish men and women serve in the armed forces. Later in the service, Navy veteran and our congregant Jeff Kane will be sharing about his military service and the recent honor flight to Washington, D.C. that he took with fellow veterans in our congregation, Elliot and Phil Satinoff, as well as Steve Sussner. To all those who have served to uphold our freedom then, now, and always, we are truly grateful. Veterans Day is such an important reminder that our nation has been strengthened through the service and sacrifice of so many heroes, and we honor their commitment to our country this Shabbat. On this day, we also commemorate Kristallnacht, also called the November Pogrom, which took place on November 9th and 10th, 1938. Kristallnacht owes its name to the shards of broken glass that lined streets in Germany and Austria in the wake of sustained anti-Semitic violence directed at the Jewish community. During this dark time, Nazis destroyed many Jewish homes, businesses, schools, as well as synagogues, and close to 100 people were killed. Many historians regard this pogrom as the tipping point which ultimately led to the Holocaust. Today, as a result of the tragedy that Hamas wrought in Israel on October 7th and the unavoidable and tragic war against this terrorist group in Gaza, Jews around the world are experiencing a sharp increase in anti-Semitism. These hate crimes have targeted individuals as well as Jewish communal organizations, from synagogues to businesses and at many college campuses. Thankfully, Americans by and large support the need for the Israeli Defense Forces to defend and protect our Jewish homeland. During the dark nights of Kristallnacht, however, Jews in Europe didn't have the protection of the military to keep such hate at bay. May the words and melody of Eli, Eli, my God, penned by paratrooper Hannah Senesh remind us of the importance of strength, courage, resilience, and faith, even in the most challenging of times.
Hashamayim
sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart, the sand and the sea, the rush of the waters, the crash of the heavens, the prayer of the heart.
We'll make our way to the next part of our service, Shema and its blessings, by singing the words of the Hatzi, or half Kaddish words of praise, found on page 26.
Yitkadav v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, B'yamad yivrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei, B'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayedecho bet Yisrael, Bagala, Bagala, uv'izman kariv, V'yemiru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mivorach, le'olam u'almei almaya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yidromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbichata v'nechemata, tahamiran b'alma, v'yemiru, Amen.
Let's rise for the call to prayer, the Barhu, found on page 28. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch hu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Yai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, lai lai. Let's continue on 31. Please join me. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim. Please join me. Words of love, Ahavat Olam, on 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. The more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works in the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We'll sing Open Up Our Eyes together. Open up our eyes, teach us how to live, fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one.
Open up our eyes.
Open up our
Teach
eyes.
us how to live.
Teach us how to live. Fill our hearts with joy and all the love you have to give. Gather us in peace as you lead us to your name, and we will know that you are one. And we will know that you are one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Feel free to be seated. We'll continue on page 36. Words of V'ahavta, you shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha v'chol nafshecha u'b'chol miodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anohi mitzavcha hayom alevavecha vishinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha v'derech u'shachmecha u'vkumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. On page 39, you'll find introduction to our words of freedom. Mi chamocha, who is like you? Please join me. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we are taught, forever we stood at Sinai's foot. And wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt. There is a better place, a promised land. The winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness. There is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Ya la ya la ya la 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 ya 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 la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha neda b'kodesh Nora teilot osef ele Nora teilot osef ele Malchutecha ra'u banecha Ke'ayam lifnei Moshe Miriam Ze'elianu ve'amru Ze'elianu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed Adonai imloch le'olam ba'ed Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai Mi chamocha neda b'kodesh Nora teilot osef ele Nora teilot osef ele You'll find words of protection and shelter, the Hashkivenu on page 42. Grant, O God, that we may lie down in peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai
Eloheinu leshalom
Ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomreinu lechayim Ushmo Seitenu Uvoenu Dechaim Shalom Me'ata ve'adolam
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu lishalom
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Hamidenu shomreinu leshalom Hamidenu shomreinu lechaim Hamidenu shomreinu lechaim. Let's rise now for our standing prayers, thanking God for the merit of the generations who came before us, for our lives and health, and for holiness. We begin on page 46.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor veHanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh HaKol, V'zocher Chasei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei Vneihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Hoser Umoshia Umagen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magin Avraham, V'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach Umorit HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somef Noflim V'rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umidom Elach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanata Lehachayot HaKol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol.
Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yalucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Feel free to be seated. You're going to have to go a few more slides ahead. We're in business. So we will continue with the Emsaot, the intermediate blessings in the 7 prayer tefillah, or standing prayers. First, for the holiness and sacredness of Shabbat, our time of rest and gathering together. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. A blessing called Avodah that you'll find on 56, asking that God's presence remain with us and remain in Israel as well with our brothers and sisters. Baruch atah Adonai Hamachazir Shechinato L'Tzion. And we'll share a prayer and words of gratitude and thanksgiving called Hoda'ah. Baruch atah Adonai Hatov Shimcha U'Hana'eh Lechodot. And finally, our prayer of peace. We will continue with the words of Oseh Shalom, which you can find on page 62 in your prayer books. May the one who causes peace in the heavens cause peace to descend on us, Israel, and throughout the world. As I make this little clip, done. Oseh Shalom Bimroma Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimroma Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimroma Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael V'yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom B'Roma Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Yisrael Yimeru Amen. Our prayer of healing you can also find in our prayer books on page 253. So we call to mind and to heart those in our community and beyond who are in need of a healing of body, mind, and spirit. We, of course, think of all those who are injured casualties in Israel's war against the terrorist group Hamas. And we also call to mind the following individuals for healing: Jacqueline Albin, Joanne Beeman Fiddleman, Yonatan Reuven Ben Rivka, Charlie Burke, Brad Bleefield, Babs Brown, Tina Bruns, Mary D'Alessandro, Norman Fiddleman, Harry Fleisch, Marcia Friedman, Denise Freifeld, Mitchell Freifeld, Sidel Freifeld, David Friedlander, Pam Granoff, Yost Grobe, Maya Herman, Don Hirschman, Jim Howard, Kathy Howard, Stephen Lieber, Louis Quall, Harper McConnell, Ken Mercereau, William Miller, Cole Montgomery, Richard Nida, Michael Ranzino, Bob Rosen, Stephanie Ross, Carol Sabani, Dennis Schulman, Roberta Schultz, Albert Schaefer, Andrew Sermenis, Jeff Stark, and Michelle Slaza. Are there any of the names you'd like to add? Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Every Veterans Day weekend, our congregation proudly honors congregants who have served in the U.S. military. In recent years, we've honored Major Retired Don Hirschman, the late Colonel Lee Van Ness, and the late Lieutenant Colonel Eddie Deerfield. This evening, we are honored and proud to have our own Jeff Kane speak to us about his service in the Navy Seabees and the honor flight that I mentioned earlier in the service. All of our veterans are heroes and mensches alike. Without further ado, pleasure to call Jeff Kane forward.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and a special welcome to all veterans present tonight or Zooming. I want to take this opportunity to thank Rabbi Matt for giving me the honor of speaking to all of you tonight regarding the Honor Flight Mission number 48 on October 24th, 2023. I want to know how many here are veterans. Please raise your hand. Okay. How many of you are familiar with an honor flight? I know some are because they're right in front of me. And who here has been on an honor flight? That's it. Okay. To begin with, the honor flights take place twice a year. Twice in the spring and twice in the fall. These flights are sponsored by Honor Flights of West Florida, and I've been knowledgeable about the organization for a few years, but unable to participate after a call last year. I requested that they call me for a future flight. Well, July of this year, I got the call, and the date was sent for October 24th. I was so very excited about it, knowing what the flight represents to me personally, so October 21st couldn't come soon enough. I was offered September the 12th as well, and it was sooner. But that is a very special day, especially this year, as Janice and I were celebrating our 60th anniversary on that very day. When I explained to the lady that I couldn't come that day, she said, "Good choice." I was notified that every veteran on the flight would be accompanied by a volunteer guardian. They are at the side of each veteran throughout the trip. This trip had 75 veterans and 75 guardians. I would also like to mention that every guardian paid their own way of $500 each out of their own pocket. All veterans had access to a wheelchair if necessary. The oldest person on our trip was a World War II veteran who was 99. He was in the wheelchair. The guardians made sure their veterans were always well cared for in the event of needing assistance. It was such a blessing to be with a special group of people, so caring and bring so much joy to each one of us. I was extremely privileged to have my grandson David be my guardian. He had just turned 18 because that's the age that you have to be a guardian. So I had the okay to ask him to accompany me. It was a great phone call. He was beyond excited and honored to be asked. He was the youngest on the trip, and he was the only grandchild on the trip. I was so amazingly proud and honored to share this special experience with him. There we are. There was an indoctrination meeting the Saturday prior to our flight. When Janice, David, and I arrived at the site and opened the car doors, the first thing we heard was Anchors Aweigh, one of the military anthems, and it just happens to be the Navy one, which I was a part of. It was so exciting. I was given this shirt and hat with the Honor Flight logo and a special case to put all my flight information in. David received a backpack with a Guardian hand, hat, and shirt. He also got even more excited. The big day, October 24th, finally arrived. David slept over and we all got up at 2:15 a.m. You heard me right, 2:15 a.m. Even though it was the wee hours of the morning, we were all very excited and ready for our adventure. Janice prepared French toast for David and me. She would never allow us to leave the home undernourished. We ate with gusto and left for the St. Pete Airport, arriving at 3:45 a.m. A group of volunteers and Honor Flight alumni met us upon arrival. Lots of joy and excitement beginning. The flight left at 5:45 a.m., arriving at Baltimore Washington Airport by 8 a.m. 2 fire trucks honored our arrival, and that was so neat to see, the 2 fire trucks throwing or shooting the water over. There. The shooting of the water over the airplane, which if translated is a salute honoring our arrival. Off we went in 3 busloads to Washington. The first stop was the World War II Memorial, and then moving forward, there were stops at the Korean War and Vietnam Wall monuments. I took David to see the Navy Seabees Monument, explaining that's what I was a member of. The Seabees motto is, "We build, we fight." I was an electrician specializing in communications in Hue, Vietnam in 1966. On one occasion, I was 40 feet up a telephone pole, hooking up an antenna to a radio in a Jeep. Years later, looking back, I'm thinking, I'm an idiot. A sniper had a perfect shot. Fortunately, it didn't happen. At the Vietnam Wall, I showed David the name of Stanley C. Campbell, one of our guys who was killed on the outer perimeter and who our Camp Campbell was named after. I would be remiss if I didn't mention time at the Lincoln Memorial as well. It was such an outstanding vision. Walking up to Lincoln, sitting in his grand chair, sent shivers up my spine, very overwhelming in stature, and thinking of representing freedom. Think about that, especially now. I felt very humble entering Arlington National Cemetery. 400,000 veterans and their eligible dependents are buried on this holy ground. Watching the orchestration of the changing of the guard at the Tomb of the Unknown with total precision and respect left one and all for all who gave their lives for our country. Seeing a picture versus appreciating it in person leaves one with an awesome experience. Upon departing from the Arlington National Cemetery, I found myself a little more subdued and deep in thought of my own experiences. I'd like to mention a few statistics in the changing of the guard. They walk back and forth, taking 21 steps, turn with a loud click of their heels that have taps on the bottom. They wait 21 seconds before going the other way. This is repeated for 30 minutes when the guard is replaced. This ceremony was amazing. The sergeant of the guard comes up and addresses the spectators to be perfectly quiet and to stand for the ceremony. The new guard comes up. The sergeant of the guard goes to him, inspects his rifle with a bayonet attached using white gloves. God forbid there's a speck on those gloves. Then he gives the guard in his uniform the once-over. After returning his rifle, he escorts him to replace the off-going guard. I also would be a little remiss if I didn't paint you a picture. They must be at least 6 feet 1 inch tall, no more than a 29 or 30-inch waist. Marching in unison, they look impeccable. There's a wreath in front of the tomb of the unknown soldier that's also replaced. Very humbling. I did not realize that was done. The number 21 is in honor of a 21-gun salute, the highest honor available. Now it's time to return to the buses and off to the airport for our return to Florida and our loved ones waiting for our joyful arrival at 8 p.m. What a day it has been. Once settled and the plane takes off, we all had a huge surprise. Mail call. This mail call was different than the ones we had in Vietnam, Guantanamo Bay, etc. Every veteran received a bag filled with letters. It seems that all the wives or family members of the veterans were notified to write a letter to their veteran. I personally received 20 personal notes with love and blessings, thanking me for my service, as well as close to 50 notes from all over the country, a few senators, congressmen, as well as children of all ages, and cute notes with interesting spellings. It was very heartwarming. Our plane touched ground at 8 o'clock at night, and slowly we came off in groups and entered the terminal to a huge party. It was unbelievable. Bands, cheerleaders, believe it or not, several Santas. Women dressed like they did in the 40s, lots of music, honor guards from different units and the press. And there were between 600 and 800 people all lined up to shake our hands and wish us well. We kept walking. Everyone was cheering and yelling with such excitement. Then I saw my son Larry and Lisa. Big, big hugs. More walking until I spotted Janice, and oh my, we threw our arms around each other with a big kiss, just like when I arrived home from Vietnam, midnight, November the 9th, 1966, at Kennedy Airport. Very emotional thinking about the past, exactly 57 years ago today. On behalf of myself, as well as my fellow veterans and temple members that were with me, Jerry Brownstein, Elliot Satinoff, Philip Satinoff, and Steve Sussner, who are all members of Temple of At Shalom. A big shout out to Honor Flights of West Florida for this absolutely wonderful memory made possible for us all. For further information about Honor Flights, you can get a hold of me later. I can give you some more information. In closing, Thank you, David, for working around your hectic schedule to accompany me as my guardian. I know we will both treasure this trip together forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff, for sharing that beautiful story, and what a blessing to have your grandson with you, and glad you enjoyed all the notes that you got from people like myself and Alex and many others as well. So well deserved, and we are really honored to have you here with us, as with all of the veterans this evening. I'd like to share, and if you'd like to join me, the next couple slides, a special blessing for our military veterans. Compassionate God, source of mercy, we pay tribute to those who have served our country and express our gratitude for their courage and selflessness, both those among us today and those of generations past. May we uphold the values of freedom and the dignity of every human being by the way we show goodness and kindness to each other. May we lead the world by example and become, as the prophet Isaiah teaches, a light unto the nations. Then will the labors and sacrifices of these veterans be honored not by words alone, but by our actions. This time I'd like to call forward any of our veterans who would like to help us open the ark for our next prayer, the Aleinu, that you'll find on page 282. Let's rise as our veterans open the Aron Kodesh, open the ark.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer breshit, shelo hasanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpechot hadama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh Baruch Hu. Benemar behaya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
We'll continue with the words of Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, that you'll find on page 294, as we think of families in the period of Shloshim, the first 30 days, mourning their loved ones. We think of families in Israel who are recently bereaved, as well as families of Jonathan Bernstein, brother-in-law of Eve Goldstein, and Louis Fishman, friend of Herb Bloom. We also mark the Artsite anniversary of passing of loved ones. On this Shabbat, we fondly remember Charlotte Bernard, Bertha Borger, William Borger, Sam Bordansky, Alvin Brand, William R. Buchanan, Marcia Burrows, Joan Kane, Abraham Kodesh, Samuel Epstein, Rose Geyer, Leah Gottlieb, Annette Gum, Lester Levy, Joyce Leibowitz, Sylvia Mann, Wesley Reeves, Houston Tyler Rothschild, Trudy Sandler, Eva Sandstrom, Rita Silverman, Stanley I. Sorkers, Norman Swoy, Trudy Tallner, Morris Tave, Morris Turner, Mindell Washman, and Peter Wind. Are there any other names to add for Yahrzeit? We say Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of all of these good people continue to be a blessing in their loved ones' lives as we rise to offer the words of Kaddish praise together. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon of yomechon uv'chayedecho beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mivarach le'alam u'lamei al-maya, Yitbarach v'yishabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, Amiran v'yama v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, Mechaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'marmav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the one who causes peace in the heavens cause peace to descend on us, Israel, Ukraine, and throughout the world, as we say, amen.
V'imru, 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 amen. V'imru, 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 amen.
Feel free to be seated. We'll continue with the Shabbat Kiddush, which you'll find on page 5 in your prayer books for the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei bria gafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lemahaseh v'reishit kihu yom tehila l'mikra'i kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu b'charta v'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha v'ava uratzon hincha Shaltanu, Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat.
Amen.
Chaim to life. Any kids of all ages who'd like to join us on the bima to enjoy some challah, some bread from the earth, feel free to come forward. One on the floor. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Amen.
Pleasure to call forward Steve Koningsberg, representing leadership of our congregation, to share some Shabbat and upcoming announcements with us.
Shabbat Shalom. Many thanks to Rabbi Matt, Michelle, Joy, for leading a wonderful service, along with our tech team, Bruce Lowett and Saul Tave. Thanks to all the veterans of our temple, and thanks for your service. And thanks to Jeff Kane for his talk on the Honor Flight mission. Last Sunday, our Social Action Committee, religious school, and many volunteers did great things for our local community and Israel on Mitzvah Day. Thank you for taking part in this important annual event. Sisterhood's gift shop and Hanukkah Bazaar will be open this Sunday, November 12th. This Sunday, our Brotherhood is sponsoring our Veterans Day Bagel and Lox breakfast, where we will hear from congregants who served in the military. Our next Shabbat morning minyan is on Saturday, November 18th at 9 a.m. Join us for the Interfaith Thanksgiving service on Sunday, November 19th at 7 p.m. at St. Alfred's Episcopal Church. Join Rabbi Matt, Allison, and Joy for a wonderful evening of song and prayer. Father Peter Lane will present a gift to our congregation, thanking us for hosting their services over the summer. On Tuesday, November 28th at 7 p.m., there will be a concert for Israel at Shaarei Tzedek in Tampa, featuring 14 cantors and cantorial soloists, including Allison, Michelle, and Joy. Our next book club meeting is on Sunday, December 3rd at 10:30 a.m. A bagel and lox breakfast will be served. After the service, please join us for an Oneg Shabbat refreshments in the social hall. And again, Shabbat Shalom to all.
Thank you so much, Steve, and Shabbat Shalom. We will conclude our service with not one but two very important songs. I'll ask us to rise for America the Beautiful and then remain standing for the Israeli national anthem, Hatikva, the hope immediately following. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy hood with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Olod baleva venima nefesh Yehudi homia ulfate mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia. Od lo avda tikvatenu ahati babal shnot apayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim liotam chofshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Shabbat Shalom to each of you. Thank you so much for joining us at services. Great job. Thank you, Joy. All right.
All right.
Great job.
Thank you, Rabbi.
So I guess we'll play it by ear for next week. You might be here next week.
Okay.
Because I would
Sounds
think
good.
probably you still would be. She's on the 10th and the 17th.
Okay. She said 3 weeks, but
If tomorrow's that, so 2, so then
So this
next
is-
week 2.
oh,
I
so
don't know,
next-
is this
so-
week 2 or 3?
this is week 3,
This is week 3?
I believe.
Okay.
Unless she needs an extra. I don't know if she needs more
Or,
time.
like-
She may need more
Yeah,
time.
I'll see.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, she's recovering, but
Yeah, either way, it should be fine.
but we also have the band coming up, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
We get to do some
That's great.
whole bunch of Hanukkah music.
Oh, that'll
Yeah.
be fun.
We
Okay.
got drums, bass, you and Allison, so it should be a lot of fun.
Oh, good. That'll be great.
Finish what? Yes, sure.
Turned away from everyone.
Turned away from everyone. Got it.